Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. So in today's episode, I think we're going to be able to get everything crafted up for the rocket. Finally. I don't think I've had any oversights or big stuff we're missing, so without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, back over here at the old base because there's still a ton of stuff to move around and figure out how I'm going to handle it, but we are just one stack of space plating short. So I'm going to go ahead and toss these into here to start making the space material so that we can then convert it into space plating. Should be running, but let's make sure. Yep, everything's running just fine. So it's going to take a good bit of pressure to work that through, but we can work on gathering up everything else, getting some patterns and whatnot in our auto crafting, and then we will come back and check on it because this is chunk loaded. So there's a few more pieces we still didn't get added into our pattern providers for crafting. Now, we're still early. There's still tons of stuff, tons of stuff that, like, just basic things we need to get recipes for, like what kind of planks are we using? What wood am I going to tell my system that it can always craft into those planks? All of that still needs to be done, but we're just trying to put the recipes in for everything we can as we need them. So let's take a look. For the Dash engine, we needed this 64K, which we got. We have all of our Ostrom space plating blocks that we need. I do have some of the heavy engineering and light engineering we need, but I don't think that I have all. So let's go take a look at this. So Dash engine, this is the same as the other tiers for most of these pieces. We're going to need 27 dynamic tanks. So let's get a pattern in here for dynamic tanks. It looks like we don't have a pattern for buckets, so let's teach it how to make a bucket too while we're here. So those two, we'll add those into our molecular assemblers. And now we should be able to say dynamic tank, and then it's here, and I needed 27 of them. Cool. And we get 28 because it makes 4 per craft. So we'll toss one back. So there's those. Ostrom. So Ostrom tanks. We need we need 2 of these tanks, so we need another 27. So we needed 52 total. And we're going to need 24 hardened glass. So let's get the tanks first, because the glass is going to take longer to process. So we need another 27 of these, 26 because we have an extra, but we'll still end up with 2 extra because it makes them in batches of 4. And then the next thing we're going to need is that glass, the hardened glass. So we need 24 of it. Looks like we already have it. I thought I put a recipe in for hardened glass. Did I? Let's go see. No, I don't have one. While we're here, let's do it, because we need hardened glass for a lot of things. So to have the recipe already in here would be nice. So that's just an induction smelter recipe there. All that stuff we should have now. And this goes in our induction smelter. Right there. Awesome. So we have our 24. It's making our other 27 dynamic tanks. There we go, 56. We need 27, 27, 14. So yeah, we need 54. Toss 2 back. Ostrom engine. We need 1 light engineering, 164K. We need 1 redstone engineering, which I do not have a recipe for. So let's make that happen. Pretty sure I don't have one. Let's double check before we add this into the thing. Yep, no plus for it, so let's go ahead and get it added in, and that is just a standard pattern. And we only needed 1, which we have for right now. What else are we missing? 4 radiator blocks and 20 heavy engineering. So we need 5 more heavy engineering, and they get made in batches of 5. We do not have a pattern for heavy engineering, so recipe. Add that in, and then we do not have a recipe for the steel sheet metal either, so we need to add that in. And these are both just molecular assembler patterns. Okay, and then now heavy, and then we need 5 more, so it makes them in batches of 4, so 8 is fine. And there we go. Sorry, my inventory is a hot mess and it's bugging me. All right, so we have our stuff for our 2 tanks and our engine minus the radiator blocks, which there's 3 of, but we need 4 total. So can you make me one more? I think this is the one that crafts in batches of 4 too. So, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that is everything for the dash pieces. Now we need the nose cone and the fins, which we've made before. So I will gather these things together. So give me a minute to run around and just grab all the rest of the stuff here. I'll meet you guys over at the miniaturization crafting. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the field projector, the miniaturization crafting, whatever you want to call it. We don't have recipes for any of the upper tier blocks, unfortunately. So we're going to have to do these by hand. It's kind of tedious, so I'll kind of just show you what works for me, and then I will put them together, and we'll move on with building our rocket. But first things first, the engine. With these, as they get complicated and you've got to put these weird blocks in the middle and all, I like to go to single layer mode, and the exploded view actually really helps. So bottom row here, you can see everything but the corners on the outside ring, and that is heavy engineering blocks. So let's get those down. All right, and then next is single layer mode, layer up. We put our casing on the outside with heavy engineering, and looks like radiators alternating, right? Or is it all heavy engineering? I'm not real sure. It's hard to see. Okay, and on the inside, we don't have 8 of these, so I bet you it's all the way around. There we go. And single layer up, up. So radiators, casings, storage in the middle. Radiators, casing, and storage, crafting storage in the middle. Is that, what are those? I can't see. It looks like redstone engineering in the middle. Yep, so redstone engineering and oscillating. And what's next? So is that going to be our light engineering on top because we haven't used one? I would guess so. Let's hope we got it right. Heyo! Nailed it! All right, then lastly, we have to make 2. We have to make 2 of the Ostrom tanks. So, Ostrom tank. And it is pretty much the same as the other ones. Whole layer of casing on the bottom, the glass, and the tanks, and the casing, 3 up, and then finish it off. So let me get one of these built, and I'll be right back. All right, built one other tank and made it. Here's the second one. Also, make sure you don't have Skystone block in your inventory and confuse it for dynamic tanks. Don't ask me why I know. All right, there we go. So now the last thing we're going to need is our 6 Ostrom blocks, which we already have in there. So let's go check our tier 3 rocket recipe and see how we're doing. Tier 3 rocket, 6 of them, 2 of those, 4 of these, 1 of them, 1 of them. We got it all. Let's make our tier 3 rocket, y'all. In we go. Nose cone at the top. 6 Ostrom blocks. 1 engine. 2 tanks. 4 fins. There we go. Yet another tier of rocket. Oh no, our workbench is in the way. Let's go ahead and move it. And then do I have a launch pad still in here? All right, give me a minute to run grab a launch pad. All right, y'all, the time has come. We have our rocket. We have it loaded up. I have some supplies for getting a base started on Venus. So let's go do this thing. All right, y'all. Oh, I'm going to burn up before I hit the ground. I have my spacesuit on, but I'm on fire. Yep. Did I miss that in the guidebook somewhere? All right, y'all. Well, this one's going to be a short episode. Sorry for the late drop. It's a full 24 hours after the last clip. I logged off, and I didn't look at it till after I got off work, basically. I made a backup of the world. I put a test world in. I went in creative. My body is there. So my body is on Venus. I can get to my stuff. But we're going to have to build another rocket to get there. And it's 10,000 blocks away from my landing site. For whatever reason, where it had us loaded in is not where our rocket was intended to land. Like, it's not over the same spot. Because in theory, if we launch from the same port, we should go there. So when I slapped it in, a test world, went creative, I made a rocket. And yes, the key we have has coordinates on it right here. You can see them. So, but we land at like 16,000 and our body's not there. So I went and my body is definitely there. We can get back to our body. But if you're in your world and you're watching this before you go to Venus, you have got to make the nether spacesuit and boots. So I am going to have to make another rocket. I had everything in my storage to make these, no problem. But I'm going to have to make another rocket to get us there. And then we're going to have to travel 10,000 blocks just to get my body back. So I was thinking there was another thing in here we'd kind of skipped over in the To the Stars quest line. We never made our rover. So this would help us cover the ground to get there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on getting the stuff together for a rover, the stuff together for another rocket. And in the next episode, we're going to play Go Get Woolie's Body Back. Because, sometimes you do dumb things in Minecraft, like not read the quest line and die zoning in on another planet. And you don't want to be done with the world. But, you got to take a minute to figure out how to fix it. So, sorry for the talking head end of this video. And sorry for it being a day late and definitely $1 short. But we will see you guys in the next one on a mission to get my body.